what Jason Whitlock said about women coaches.
A woman's head coach in the NBA within the next 5 years. Agree or disagree?
Oh God.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. Look, this has nothing to do with us. We're powerless to stop it. Yes, it'll probably be what Becky Hammond. Hasn't she been foisted upon us as the next great female Pat Riley? It's gonna happen. I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna watch, but it's gonna happen. Yes, agreed.
You're completely unaware of this because you don't watch the WNBA, but Becky Hammond's team has won 12 straight games. Everyone had given them up for dead. She's rallied the troops. Her and Asia Wilson are going gangbusters. Las Vegas Aces may win a championship, and we may if they win a championship, we may end up with Becky Hammond as a head coach in the NBA in the next 2 years.
Okay.
I'm gonna move on to something.
Wait a minute. All right, so look now, Becky Hammond, she has experience in the league as a coach. She was on the bench with the Spurs, right? And so she is familiar with that type of environment because, like I said, and then she coached the G League. You know, she was a head coach for the G League. So what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think possibly like Becky Hammond could be a coach at that level?
I see her before Dawn Staley. I see her before Dawn Staley.
Yeah. I just say whoever it is, even if it's Becky Hammond, she's going to have to be able to assemble a great staff. I don't care who the person is. It's going to happen, but that person to be successful is going to have to assemble a great staff.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask both of y'all. This: would you think Becky Hammond would have an easier transition because you know what I'm saying? She was on the bench with Poppy, plus because she was in the D League, things like that. Do you think her well, let me see. Would you think it would be more accepted than a Dawn Staley overall? I'm talking about with the players than it would be, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, because she didn't she didn't coach Summer League, she didn't coach the man in the G League, things like that. So it would be more widely accepted, and maybe the transition wouldn't be as tough.
I think for Becky Hammond, because she was in that environment before, I think it would be less of a culture shock for her. Like, you know, because if Dawn Staley just goes straight from the college ranks to the NBA, not being in that environment on a day in and day out basis, I think it'd be a culture shock. So that's just another battle that she has to contend with. Whereas though Becky Hammond, she might have got, you know, she probably have more respect because she is more familiar with that. She know how to probably navigate that environment a little bit better than Dawn Staley. So I think, she probably be more prepared for that than Dawn Staley.
And I think the players, it'll be an easy transition for the players because being on Pop's bench, I'm sure she's developed some relationships with some of the players in the league, got to know guys, stuff like that, talk basketball. So they may have already some level of respect for her basketball acumen. So
the point I was making, like she would be more accepted by the players. You know what I'm saying?
I think that gives her more credibility too, because she comes from that, you know, that Popovich tree. She coached in the G League, so that gives her some credibility. But I do think that, you know, along the line, I do think that she'll be able to make that transition if they did that. Speaking of, man, the Aces, he said the Aces on a 12-game winning streak.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's somebody that I don't think you don't want to see them in the playoffs. I don't think, you know, I don't think you want to see them in the playoffs. That's a
season winding down, right? Ain't the season winding down?
Yeah, I think it's only like a handful of games left.
Yeah, I remember Clayton said that last week. It was only a few games.
Yeah, so they are, you know, 12 winning, you know, 12 games. And what if and we spoke about her as a coach. Did this change your opinion about her, Becky Hammond, as a coach? 12 games winning streak. And if they go deep into the playoffs, you know, Just don't.
listening to y'all,
Well,
y'all always
we
thought
didn't have a negative opinion of. Yeah, I didn't have a specific opinion about her anyway, so it wouldn't be changed. You know,
No,
she's a
no. Well,
championship coach. That's what it is.
Is she one of the
Huh?
better coaches in the WNBA? Is she one of the better coaches in the WNBA?
I think so. I thought so. Her and the lady at the Lynx, and you got the other young the lady with the Liberty. I mean, there's some good coaches in the WNBA, but I think she one of the top coaches. Yeah, but I thought that the last time we talked, I thought, you know, it was some question as to like, is she really a good coach, even though she comes from that Popovich tree.
Now let me ask you this, right? It was
Yeah,
real.
and it's still a good, and to me, that's still a question. That's still a question for me. Is she really? I can't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
I think
You
that's
know.
why she took this job with the WNBA, because you know they were talking about her being a coach in the NBA before this job.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, why would she take the job in the WNBA if she was going to get a head coaching job? You know, her name was coming up and things like that. I don't think she got injured or anything, but I was like, why would she take this? Maybe she just wanted this added to her resume. Maybe people that are owners and GMs in the NBA told her maybe it would be best if you go coach the WNBA for a couple seasons, see what type of success you have on that level before you consider it for an NBA job. But I didn't know, like I say, I don't know the workings of the WNBA like that, but I always thought, why would she take a WNBA job if she was at the top of everybody's list being a new coach coming into the NBA? So,
Yeah. Now they may have wanted to see like how she run her own organization. You know what I mean? Like how she coach her own team.
right.
Because I always thought like for men, I thought for men who wanted to go to the NBA level and to coach at the WNBA level, I thought that kind of hurt their credibility a little bit. I know that you had Derek Fisher, what's the other guy? Mahorn. I mean, not Mahorn. What's the other guy that was played for the Bad Boy Pistons?
Lambeer.
Bill Lambier.
Bill Lambier.
Yep.
I thought for males who coach in the WNBA and try to go make that transition, that hurt them a little bit. But I don't think for her it hurts her. You know, for some reason I just don't think it hurt her.
Detroit used to have a women's team, didn't they?
Yeah, Detroit Shop.
Okay, yeah.
It was the Detroit Shop. That's where Bill Lambier coached at the Detroit Shop.
That's where he coached at?
Right, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, and so Retro says the Liberty and the Golden State Valkyries coaches are good. I like both of those coaches. I like especially the lady who with the upstart Valkyrie. She really can coach too. She proved that she can coach. You know, so yeah, I like both of those coaches. Yeah, and so yeah, let me see. What's he see? Cheryl Reeves denied Caitlin Clark a chance at the Olympics her rookie year. Yeah, a lot of people still holding that against Cheryl Reeves. But, yeah, man. So yeah, I just thought that it was interesting. The Becky Hammonds and the situation with Dawn Staley. But all right, so let's switch gears again here, right?